Traders, what's up? I hope you guys are doing well today. We are coming to you with another success story. So, before we jump into it, I would like to say that I did receive some feedback after episode 1. However, episode 2, which is this episode, was recorded in very close proximity. So, we didn't get to implement some of those newer things, but just know in the episodes to come, we will have longer videos and everything that we've heard so far, we will implement. So, everything good at least. But other than that, hit that thumbs up, and also down below in the comments, let us know any spicy questions you might want us to ask the students. All right. With that being said, hit that thumbs up. Let's jump into it. Ladies and gentlemen, traders, welcome back to another success story. We have BMAC, the well-known penny stock hyper scalper, in the building. BMAC, how are you doing today? Give the people a little bit about who you are, what you're doing here in the MMU community with the hyper scalping style, and also let us know where you're from.
Yeah, thanks for having me. So I'm trading from Denver. Moved here about 3 years ago. Love it here. Love trading on Mountain Time. And yeah, like you said, I'm mainly a penny scalper. But also I'll play kind of anything that has momentum, range, tight spreads, all that stuff. Um, yeah, I've been doing it for like 4 years now, 5 years now. Started really small. I lost a bunch of money, like a lot of people had coming into it, and then started really small, just realizing that hey, I need to have a process, and if I can do this with 10 shares, I can do it with 1,000 shares. If I can do it with 1,000 shares, I can do it with 10,000 shares. The liquidity in the market is limitless. So just define the process, and then once you have the data to back that up, you can really trust your process and scale it up. And this year has been incredible. We were just talking about it before the interview. It's like this is what I knew was possible, and I took all the right steps to get here. So I'm proud of that. But this could be anybody. No, I'm nobody special. So yeah, it's been pretty sweet. And you're on the same path. You're
Right.
you're right here next to
Right.
me. So.
There's a lot of things that you mentioned here that I'd love to unpack. One of those things being process over profits. And here in the MMU community, the Relentless community, we always preach to all newer traders, even for the people who've been around a little bit but are quite not where they need to be, the importance of taking it slow, utilizing simulators, utilizing smaller size before becoming aggressive. Guys, process over profits, as BMAC is saying, is one of the most important things when it comes to improving. So, BMAC, got a couple of questions for you. So, how did you come across MMU? Because we have a lot of people who sometimes say they've seen a viral Team House content. Others say they find us on YouTube, the live streams, perhaps. How did you come across myself, the community? How did that happen?
Um, I don't even know if you know this guy, but his name was Thanos.
Oh, okay.
And I used to chat with Thanos. This is the guy in Discord quite a bit, and he was in uh, he was in like a few Discords that I was in, and then he mentioned yours, and so I popped in there, and I just found a lot of similar minded traders, like momentum scalpers, people who were playing the small cap stocks, and it was a faster style of trading that everybody was doing. It wasn't like we're swinging this thing, here's our profit target, here's the exit. It was like just we're all hyper scalpers basically. So that was kind of cool, and then I just kind of stuck around.
When it comes down to that intraday and daily experience, what do you have to say to the people, right? How's the experience in the chat room? How's the experience with the classes as you come in every day?
A year or two ago, I would watch your streams, I would watch Mighty's streams, I would watch your archives and stuff like that. And I definitely took pieces of what you guys do and implemented it in a very different way in different markets and whatnot. I'm kind of a rogue trader now because I just do my own thing. And so I think a lot of people eventually get like this as they get further in their career. Everybody else becomes a distraction. You can't go in and copy anybody else's trades. You can learn from people and you can take pieces of what they do, but it's never going to be the exact same. But I did take a big piece of what I do today from MMU and the edges that you guys teach.
Okay, and so as we're transitioning here, so for those of you who do not know, right, BMAC, as mentioned, he joined MMU. He's been here for about a year plus now. Guys, he is closing in, if I'm not mistaken, on $1 million, if not already surpassed the $1 million mark. So we do want to say congratulations. And when it comes down to what we're doing here as the mentors, it is unbelievable, right? Again, some people do start with different levels of experience. Some are very beginner, some a little bit more intermediate. But all in all, it's insane to see how people progress and how they take the information and then apply it. And so even for myself, seeing some of the students, have bigger P&Ls than me, it is absolutely encouraging, inspiring, and hopefully it does motivate some people out there to, maybe who are on the sidelines to eventually get involved with trading, because as you can see, this is something that's essentially life changing. So BMAC, if you can do the honors here and jump into your trader view and give the people a bit of a glimpse of what's going on and how your metrics are looking.
Yeah, sure. Um, I'd say there's a pretty good story behind these metrics here. Man, you can't even see 2020 anymore. But if you look at these, and it's all kind of parabolic in nature, so it's tough to see now. But if we were able to zoom in on 2020, you'd see that it was like, I think it was like $3,000 or $4,000 in profits there. And this was the first year of my trading. And again, I was just super, super small size and just stacking those $10 wins or even like $1 wins. If I could have a $300 month, I was like super, super happy. And at the end of the year, I made $3,000. That's extra, food money or going out money, whatever, whatever you want. And I just knew, okay, if I can just get the process right, we can keep scaling this over time. And so I got the process, I thought right. But one thing you have to think about is even though you're doing well right now, how is this market going to change? And that was a big thing in 2020. It was you had COVID, you had GameStop, you had all this crazy momentum, and everybody was saying, well, the market's easy right now. And in 2021, 2022, it's going to be different. It's going to be different. And so I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to scale up. I don't want to size up and then lose and give back everything that I have. I don't want to slowly scale up because then when I get hit with the big, like, my strategy stops working, I'm going to give it all back. I just want to do it. We'll go the same size 3 months. Okay, that works. We'll step it up. We'll go the same size 6 months, step it up, whatever. So 2020 was $3,000. 2021, we basically 4x'd, made $13,000. And then 2022, we 3x'd again. We 3x'd, made $40,000. 2023, we just about 4x'd, made 155. And then this year, I honestly, after 2023, I said there's no freaking way I could 3x or 4x that. And here we are, and it just feels unreal, right? And so we're on track to 4x 2023. And I think that when you're just starting off, you just don't know what you don't know. You don't realize that, you just don't know, you don't have the edges locked in yet. But the amount of trades that I can take in 2024, and you can see, like, I'm just finding so many more trades, and I'm so much more profitable on so many on these trades. I mean, you can see the count. The count is almost the same as 2023, but I'm so much more profitable on these trades because I've honed in on where is the good risk to reward, where are the good risk reward trades, and so I'm able to milk that much more out of it. And if we go into the details, I'll show you
These
the
are
average
some
win isn't
very
even that
impressive
big.
metrics, man. Absolutely impressive.
Thank you. Yeah, my average win here is only $43. You don't need to have crazy average winning trades and make a bunch of money. And this is diluted because of it's all time. But if we just went for the year to date, we take a look at that. Um, yeah, $62 average winning trade. Average losing trade is 23. And I think this is probably the key right here. In trading, it's all about being a good loser. You got to know how to lose. I only win 46% of the time. But when I'm losing, I'm only losing $23. When I'm winning, I'm making 3x that. So that's really the key. And you have to look for those spots. And it's going to be hard to find those spots at first, but you watch enough charts, you watch enough level two, you're going to pick it up. So And again, this is the stuff that is in that MMU course. So, and then you can watch the archives. You know, these guys do it every day. So
Right.
it's definitely possible.
Yeah, and that's definitely one of the biggest stat points that stands out to me is that profit loss ratio. So, as BMAC is mentioning, it is definitely crucial to understand, to choose your spots. And, when you really see a setup that suits your criteria, you hit it hard. When it's not there, you keep a tight stop, you know, and being very consistent with that, having a 3-to-1 risk to reward, very impressive.
Thank
So,
you.
BMAC, right? After spending about a year here in the MMU community, after hanging out with us, in fact, we've even spoke behind the scenes a couple of times, and it's to the point where through yourself and your company with dip traders, you've even been able to help us out with some scanners, right? With some halt scanners that we do utilize in the chat room. Um, so throughout your experience here in the Merciless Markets community, is there anything that you would say we can improve on, that maybe we can do differently, something that we can maybe add to the classes that can potentially bring more value to the students? What do you think?
Well, I mean, the market's always changing, so I'm sure there's always things that can be added. But um, I like with the chat room recently how you guys added the verified traders thing. I think a lot of discords out there, you just have all these people who are just they're throwing out ideas and whatnot, but you have no idea who you should really be listening to, and there's a lot of noise. You don't know who to follow, you don't know who's real, who's not. So having that verified profitable trader, or at least they're trading in
Yeah.
a real account, having that little tag on their name in the Discord, I think that's really a cool thing that I haven't seen any other Discords do.
Yeah,
Um,
and they're fully verified. So for those people watching on, if you might not know, right in our chat room, in order for someone to pass verification, we have to do similar to what we're doing now, almost like an interview, a video call, where the individual must share their screen. They must be logged into their platform, walk us through their year date P&L. We have to make sure that their account is legit and that they are who they say they are. So it definitely brings a lot of transparency to the chat room, and it does allow other traders to see and know, hey, this person, their call outs maybe have a little bit more of an impact, but we still keep our own systems in place when it comes to you know discipline and not just copying blindly. Still have to make sure you do your due diligence, but it is good to know who is real and who is not.
yeah, absolutely. And I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Like, I think the archives are really where it's at. You know, if you're just beginning, then you're going to get a lot of value out of the course material and finding the edges, because that's really where you should be looking for a trade. But the archives are going to show you how to manage a trade. And that's what you really got to figure out. You know, when you want to get to that next level, you have to figure out how do you be a good loser. And so, yeah,
Yeah, and this is interesting because the last student that we interviewed, who was Lucas, right? You guys can also check out that video. Lucas also mentioned the very same thing. For him, he believed that the archives is where he found the most value. So a lot of people are really enjoying the archives, right? And again, that's where we record our screens with all of our instruments, show where we're getting in, where we're getting out, and how we're actively managing the position. So it seems like the archive is definitely a big component here in the chapters, and we're gonna continue to add to those. And maybe one day we can get BMAC to send us over a nice big archive from one of his sweet green days. That would be cool.
maybe. Yeah, we'll see. If I'm sending over an archive, you might not want it anymore.
Well, all right, guys, there you have it. BMAC, we're very proud of him. As a mentor, this is exactly what we want to see is people coming in, taking bits and pieces from the classes, from the community, adding it into their own twist, their own trading, and improving. Right, we cannot ask for anything more. Um, so BMAC, continue to grow, continue to push, continue to be your best self. I have no doubt that even this year that you have today, this at this point, I think it's possible we can see a 3x again. I know it might sound crazy, but I mean, we would have never thought that we could have 3x last year, that we could have doubled the year before that, and so is this thing where as long as we continue to improve in ourselves, as long as we continue to become more consistent, the market can and will reward us. So let's just continue to be our best selves. So
Yep.
you guys can definitely, I'll make sure to have the link to BMAC's channel down below. I'm gonna make sure that you guys can check him out, find him maybe on Twitter as well if he's on there, so you can stay connected with him. BMAC, it's been a pleasure. Is there any final words that you might want to say to the people here today?
No, just take it slow, and the market will always be there. So take it slow. Screen time is the most important thing. So you will figure it out eventually if you stay or stick around long enough. So
All right, guys, there you have it. Be sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channels, check out the links for BMAC down below, and I'll catch you guys later. Stay safe, stay green.